about this season finale of Love During Lockup with Kate, Hunter, and Kaleigh because I have a lot of thoughts. So Kaleigh ends up storming out of the place she was doing her friend's hair at. I don't know if it was like a storage unit or if it was like a salon space she was renting out, but she storms outside, and like I predicted in my last video, she wasn't in the mood to do this girl's hair anymore. She just wanted to go back home after finding out about Hunter's betrayal. She sped to her home and her friend showed up and tried to comfort her, and then she kicked the camera crew out and said that she needed some time and space. And then we catch up with Kate, and she's talking about how Hunter's not gonna get away with this. She's gonna get her retribution, and she wants Hunter to hurt just like she did. And she said she feels like Hunter continues to just do what he wants because he knows that she has like this unconditional love for him, and that she'll allow him to get away with more than anybody else typically would be able to. You know what I don't like when it comes to Kate though? It's like she sticks her nose up in the air like she's better than Kaleigh, and kind of like talks about her as if she's trash or beneath her, and like she came in and stepped into her relationship with Hunter when she's the one that opened up Pandora's box. I mean, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. She's acting like she's almost like the better one in this situation, but are you really? Because you are the one that's been here since the beginning and you're still with him, and he's admitted that he's cheated on you numerous times and God knows how many other times, and you're still sticking with him. You're the main chick, but Kaleigh was only the side chick, and when she came into the situation, she thought that she was entering a monogamous relationship with Hunter. She was just completely innocent to the fact that he was playing her or there's other people involved. Then we catch up with Kaleigh later on, and this is right after the trailer came out for this season of Love During Lockup. So the producers got her reaction, and she reacted exactly like how we would all expect. She was hurt, she was confused, and she found out that Kate was involved and pretty much put Hunter on a website so she didn't have to pay for her own man. And she just felt played, and she found out that the producers had been filming with Kate this whole time, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't care how buddy I am with the producers. If I found out that they were filming with another girl the whole time and that I was technically like considered the side chick, I would have been so livid with the producers. It would have been hard for me not to catch an attitude with them. It was at that moment that Kaleigh knew she was going to look like a fool once the show premiered. And then we caught up with Kate again, and she was serving revenge poolside. Like she said, she was going to get her revenge. So she decided to call up her buddy Enrique to come have a little pool date with her, and they're just sitting back having drinks. And some people felt like he was a paid actor, a producer plant. I'm not going to lie, that's kind of what it was giving to me, because it kind of seemed like Enrique may play for the other team. I don't know, just the way he was acting, and it seemed like him and Kate weren't even that close. It kind of seemed awkward between them, and like they were just trying to make the best of the situation. And I went and looked at Enrique's social media profiles, and I follow Kate, so if she follows Enrique, it would show me that she follows him, and she's not following him on any of his social media profiles. I mean, maybe she decided to unfollow him after Hunter got mad and found out about their little pool date. Hunter called while they were sitting there, and the first thing he asked is, "Are you by yourself?" And she's like, "No, someone else is here." And you can hear Enrique in the background, and once Hunter could hear that another dude was there, his whole tone of voice completely changed. It seemed like she had ripped all power away from Hunter in that moment, and he knew he had no control anymore, and he didn't like getting a taste of his own medicine, and he swears up and down, even though Kate is going out on dates with other men, he's like, "That is still my woman." Kate was trying to act like she was like this big boss because she was getting her revenge. And you go, girl. You go get your revenge. He deserves it at this point. He obviously, I think he deserves way worse. Like, she should have went and had a good old gangbang or something like that to just really get under his skin. But Kate keeps trying to make it sound like, oh, I'm such a boss. I took control of this situation. But at the end of the day, you were still with the man. She is still with the man even after all this. And how many times did he tell her that he had cut off all his sugar mamas as he continued to talk to all his sugar mamas? And then we catch up with Kaleigh once again. And last we saw Kaleigh, she was breaking down crying, swearing up and down she was done with this fool. I was so happy for her. I'm like, you know, she's not going to see this as a blessing right now, but really this is a blessing in disguise because this is just saving her from long-term pain because Hunter obviously has infidelity issues and he's a user, and I think he is a career criminal like that lawyer was assuming, and I think it's just going to get worse with him, and she deserves so much better. So even though I hated seeing Kaleigh go through that, I was happy that she would no longer have to deal with that anymore. And next thing you know, as soon as I'm like, you go, girl, she makes me think like, well, what is wrong with this girl's decision making? Because after Hunter broke up with her and she swore up and down she was done with Hunter, I guess he ends up calling her the next day and was like, oh, babe, I just did that for the show. The show wanted me to pretend that I had a girlfriend just to stir up drama. And you know what? I can see where she believed that. But I also feel like Kaleigh must have not watched that many previous episodes of Love After Lockup or really been a fan of the show, because I feel like she would have recognized a lot of the red flags that have been hitting her left and right that she's been choosing to ignore this whole time. And even after Hunter broke her heart, she decided to give him another chance. Even after she saw the trailer where he admitted that he was just using her and she was just a sugar mama, she cut him off that day. And I was like, oh, you go, girl. And then we see her at the desert and she is digging a hole and she put her little engagement ring that she bought herself and that dildo that she bought that was supposed to be the same size as Hunter, which I doubt. It. It's probably Cat because that dildo was big as hell. And she decided to throw it into this hole and dig it up in the desert. And I'm like, you go, girl. You take your power back. And I thought she was going to move on, find someone else, and live happily ever after. The next thing you know, I just want to throw my remote at the freaking TV because we catch up with Hunter and he's sitting there with that smudge look that he always has on his face. And he's like, yeah, you know, Kaleigh broke up with me last time you guys were filming, but she just started talking to me again the next day. We got right back together and started where we left off. And she's sending me more money than ever now. And I'm still with Kate. And he's like, and Kate knows. And he's like, actually, no, she doesn't know. But I pretty much hinted at her, so she knows. Which I promise you, he likely hasn't said a damn thing whatsoever. That just tells me that Kaleigh really doesn't love herself if she's willing to continue to accept this. Or Hunter is just such a smooth talker that she's willing to buy everything that he says. And she's just incredibly naive. But I mean, how many more things does he have to do to you for you to realize that he is not boyfriend material? I was scared this was gonna happen too, because on her Facebook it says she's been in a relationship since March of 2024, and in her recent pictures on Instagram she's been wearing a ring. So even before I found out in the season finale that she was still talking to Hunter, everything I was seeing on social media was still pointing in that direction. He's not going to learn until he finally gets out and then goes home to Kate, and then she's just left in the dust. And that's going to be sad. And somebody asked her, what are your thoughts about what he said about you at the end of the show? And she just said, showed a little shrugging, I don't know emoji. And they said, will you be on the next season? I hope so. And she said, Stay tuned. And I wouldn't be shocked if they end up bringing her back and Kate and all that. I can't remember when Hunter was supposed to get out of prison. Wasn't he one of the inmates that had less than a year left? If anybody knows the answer to that question, let me know in the comments. And someone said at the end, he said you two still talk and you still send him money. I hope that's not true. You deserve better. And she said, girl, don't believe everything you see. That's all I can say. Which I'm really curious what she means by that. That makes me think that she is trying to say that the show is just trying to play it up, or had her pretend like she's sending all this money when she really isn't, because I've heard from previous cast members in the past that the show made them exaggerate how much they really spent on their partners because they know those big numbers get people talking. And Kate has shared a few things on her stories. This is just a little picture she shared that said, don't embarrass me, mother effer. And she's been sharing a lot of stuff like this since the season finale aired. And then she said, women do a lot of explaining and not enough of telling people to F themselves. And she said, I don't want my inner child to heal anymore. I want her to get revenge. You know, she wants to serve some revenge poolside. Then she shared a tweet from someone that said, why is she not mad at production? And I feel like that is supposed to be directed towards Kaleigh, but the same thing could be said about Kate, because Kate didn't find out that Hunter had another girl until Hunter told him, and the whole time they had been filming with Kaleigh without Kaleigh or Kate having any kind of idea whatsoever. And all I'm saying is, if they do bring them back, we better get a meetup between Kaleigh and Kate. I'm not gonna lie, it really annoyed me how they kept trying to tease it or like make it look and clickbait in the previews that Kate and Kaleigh would possibly be meeting up with each other. Like they would show Kaleigh driving in the car and then Kate's talking about, oh, I'm gonna get revenge, and it looks like Kaleigh's getting out of her car, and when she was going to the desert, they kind of made it look like she was possibly like going towards a pool or going to meet up with Kate. And I'm like, oh, it's really going to happen. And then we just find out that Kate's just with some random dude named Enrique. We do not want Enrique and Kate. We want Kate and Kaleigh to sit down. And I feel bad for Enrique. Like, how would you feel if you went on a date with a girl and then you get a phone call and find out that she's still dating this man, and pretty much you're just the dude that she called so she can get her little poolside revenge? So really, you're just being used as a rebound or as somebody to make her man jealous, and then she's probably going to go running right back to him. I mean, I would be mad if I was on a date with a girl and she's answering phone calls from other men in prison. It kind of reminds me of Ty when she went out on that date with that dude. I think he worked at the funeral home with her or something like that. I can't remember his name, but it was like a normal dude, and he seemed like he had his crap together, and he took Ty on a date to try to show her something different, but the whole time she was getting phone calls left and right from all her little prison boos. When I first made my first video talking about this couple, before I even seen them and just saw them like in the little cast bios, I thought that Kate looked like a pretty girl, and like she seemed like she was way too good for Hunter. But honestly, they seem like a match made in heaven, because they both seem like con artists. Like, not her doing anything like illegally, but she is being a con when it comes to taking advantage of Kaleigh and letting Hunter take advantage of other women. And it's rare to find a woman out there that would be willing to accept these things that Hunter has been doing, and it kind of really says a lot about her moral compass that she's willing to accept these things. But that is it for this video, guys. Let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Do you think Kaleigh is still talking to Hunter to this day? Sound off in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.